Hello everyone, and welcome now to Game 3 in the series between Sage and Welmu. Let's go ahead and get my overlay back up. Game 3, Sage versus Welmu. We are now all tied up at 1 game apiece, and these have been anything but traditional boring Protoss versus Protoss mirror matches. Really enjoying this so far. We'll see what will be happening next as Sage spawns as the blue Protoss player on the top right hand side of the map. Meanwhile, Welmu spawning as the red Protoss on the bottom right-hand side of the map. Now, Protoss versus Protoss. What more can I say about the beginning game that I haven't said in games 1 and 2? Not very much, actually. Alright, so Protoss versus Protoss. We're looking to see when these players' build orders will deviate from each other. Now, normally, Protoss versus Protoss, a long time ago, it used to be a rock, paper, scissors where Twilight Council, Robotics Facility, or Stargate, you had one of those 3 options to build. If you built Twilight Council, you normally beat Stargate. If you beat Stargate, you normally beat Robotics Facility, and if you build Robotics Facility, you normally beat Twilight Council. But then again, sometimes we have seen giant rocks destroy paper in StarCraft 2 logic, so we'll see if that will come out once more. Now, in order for giant rocks to be falling out of the sky, we do need to see a little bit more unorthodox play, perhaps a Stargate with Void Rays, and if there is any maps to do it, this would be the map of choice. Destructible rocks near the front door. If you're able to hide a proxy Stargate here, you can charge up off of the rocks, kind of swing around as you're charging up, and then deal that full 40 DPS off of that Void Ray against units on the ground. Now that works extremely well against Protoss players if they are too sentry specific. If they utilize sentries a little bit too much in order to be defensive, they'll find that they don't have enough stalkers to really deal with that Void Ray. Also, Void Ray pilots are generally very good. They can back away, attack while moving, turn around, phase shoot, all of those nifty lovely little things as the probe does come inside. Alright, one zealot is out by Welmu. Is Sage going to have his zealot out as well? Yes, he will. And so far, both sides still training more and more zealots. Normally you only train up 1 zealot, so I'm not quite sure what Welmu is doing here. He's actually training up a 2nd zealot, going for a stalker now, and he will be delaying his warp gate tech. Alright, so it is going to be 2 zealots and 1 stalker versus 1 zealot here and 1 stalker. This cannot be good news, but Sage does then again have Defender's advantage. Defender's advantage meaning a lot as a sentry about to make its way in only to get caught. Zealot now down to 0 shields and will survive. Alright, Welmu apparently wanting to give me what I asked for has started to build a Stargate. Alright, Stargate versus Robotics Facility. We'll see if a giant rock of Robotics Facility will be able to crush that Stargate here as the Zealots are engaging. Oh, 1 Zealot is going to get taken down. Yes, it does get taken down. They have exchanged Zealots as a Stalker now finally going to make its way over. This is a bit strange. What is this probe going to do? The probe is looking for any perhaps proxy pylons that I mentioned, and he wants to see if there is a proxy Stargate. Back down over here, the sentry is being forced to warp or summon another force field or create another force field here. Alright, we are going into Phoenixes, and Phoenixes is one of those units that I'm not quite sure I agree with. Phoenixes are able to pick up units, shut down some zealots, shut down sentries, but they're not very effective at anything else, really. They're not that great anti-army units. They need that energy, otherwise they're pretty much useless. So perhaps we'll see 2 to 3 Phoenixes followed by a Void Ray, as a Void Ray attacking a non-moving target is a beautiful sight if you are a Protoss player. Alright, Robotics Facility now finally coming in. Meanwhile, we are going into a Robotics Bay. So a Robotics Bay for Colossi, War of the World style, as Sage now also going into Immortals. Alright, this is gonna be a little bit strange. 2 Immortals will be out on the field. If those Phoenixes perhaps spot those sentries, and shut them down. That could be a complete change around here. Gonna be going after one Phoenix or one probe, another probe now taken down. And that's all the damage he really dealt. If he actually picked up and went after the sentries, that would have been a huge difference. 5,100, a total loss of 300 resources, as opposed to simply 100. And you also tipped your hands in terms of tech. I cannot agree with what Welmu did there. He let his opponent know that he has Phoenixes, so his opponent now knows that he needs to get even more Stalkers, as we're gonna see. Nope, the Phoenixes are gonna be forced to back away. 2 sentries and 1 Stalker able to push back 3 Phoenixes, even though the Phoenixes do have that additional bonus damage versus light. Alright, 4 Phoenixes now looking to come in. How much energy do they have between the 4 of them? Enough for 4 Phoenix or 4 probe kills, as we are no longer training up anything else from this Stargate. Alright, the true test will be how effective these Phoenixes are against Colossi, as Colossi are very strong to Phoenixes. True, the Phoenix, if given enough time, can just shoot down the Colossus, but will he actually have enough time here? Stalker's now pushing back all of these Phoenixes once more. Perhaps going to get off some easy shots, as the Stalkers are here. And wait, where are they going? Getting in and taking in even more damage, trying to catch that one particular Colossus. That Colossus taking some damage down to 0 or 50 shields, as the Phoenix is now going to make their way inside the main base, taking down the probes that were mining on gas. And you can see how quickly those were taken down, as the Stalkers are now looking to make their way in. Zealots, sentries, immortal. The sentry is not going to be able to do very much, as there is a Colossus that can break down any sort of force fields. Alright, Phoenix is looking to come back over, and now what is going to be happening here? Immortals, Stalkers. If the Immortals, oh, there you go, units are going to get taken down. So many units at the front door. Welmu with a little bit of a larger army, and here we go. Phoenix is now coming in. Are the Phoenixes going to be able to take down that Colossus? More Zealots getting taken down, and Sage looks like he's going to be able to just destroy all of these units here. The Immortals in the front dealing so much damage. One Colossus able to spot up onto the high ground, and that's really what's giving Sage this advantage, just simply being able to spot up onto the high ground. Sentries, Immortals, Colossus down to 48 hit points. Has to be very careful. Immortals not trying to push their way in. And is that one Colossus? Yes, it will get shot down here. Both sides are trying to engage. Another Immortal gets taken down, and Sage now just kind of sidestepping his way inside the base, takes the victory. Welmu forced to GG, as Sage now takes a 2-1 lead in this series. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening.